between everything we do. So, we done on sci-fi? No? One more.
I was really impressed with the diversity of races, like in playing Star Saga. And I was just curious if we're going to see more of like an introduction of new races, or we're going to see more of, say, like a additional cast for races that have been, you know, like introduced, like the crystal guys and stuff like that. I love the concept. I'm just curious what kind of direction you're sort of heading towards.
Yeah, so I mean, a lot of those now in escalation will be used as mercenaries in Dead Zone. You can start adding them into your Dead Zone. Dead Zone squads. A lot of them are in Dreadball as well. So like the Crystallans are already in Dreadball, and I think we've got. I am kind of constantly full of ideas. I mean, I'd love a Matsudan, guys for Dead Zone. I mean, I think they'd be awesome. The Sphere, they'd be brilliant as well as a full-on faction. So it's just kind of, it's picking which ones we do, you know. And I think the Matsudan, we've got one of those joining the Asterians, kind of as a merc for those, which is quite because they were honourable. We kind of thought they would fit together. But yeah, I think we've got so many races to choose on. Nameless, they would still, you know, we still have only just really scratched the surface of what those guys are. So there's lots more.
So I think the answer is both of those and more. I think there's a little bit teasing across. Some bits will come in as Dead Zone factions because they're relatively straightforward for us. You know, 8 skulls, it changes the matchup in Dead Zone, just like we did the Vermin with the
Vault Chasers.
The Vault Chasers, that's really wonderful stuff, you know. So fairly easy to do and fun to do and a new thing to fight against or fight with. And then we've got a few races that we have spoke about that are kind of reserved for that 2.0 moment where we might look at a whole game, you know, Zor versus something with the Starship Troopers-esque. Could be a board game, could be a war game, you know, could be something. So there's certain things that are so big, they're a whole new race, whole new genre. They're kind of reserved for when we do something big with them and go straight to our plastic, go straight to vehicles, use that to 2.0, Warpath and Kings of War, and if we're ready to go, let's go and do it. You know.
Looking forward to it.
Yeah. Okay. No one.
Where's your hat, Ronnie?
There's one of my hats here. But this is my third hat in the last 24 hours. I shit you not. So unless someone here has stolen 2 of my hats, which I believe is entirely possible from you bunch of bastards, I lost a light grey one, which I was photographed in front of the American flag a couple of days ago. So that was lost sometime mid-afternoon yesterday, having been in the Kings of War room earlier. And then just this morning, my matching rank and flank hat, which very few of you got to see because I had it for about 15 minutes ago, and actually lost it. That help, Mel?
Does, mate, does.
Okay, so there's one more.
Is it worth explaining how the mercs might work in the next bit?
Yes! It would be lovely. Why do you do that?
Yeah. So, do you want to talk about the faction or the Living Legends? Both? Okay. So, as a faction, the way that we're looking at it is we've got a pre-selected amount of people from various factions. So, somebody from the Forge Fathers might say, okay, I need this guy as a leader. He's going to take a bunch of Forge Fathers, and then maybe I'll pick up a couple of mercs as specialists to fill out this one contract. That's one way that we're looking at it. Another way is that a lot of them are getting retooling so that we can reuse them, make them better. Like Freya, for instance, I don't think she's that. I've never seen her on any tickets anyway. You guys ever used her? She's a great model. But now, for instance, she's one of the ones that's going to get a workover so that we can actually use them as Living Legends or as mercs proper for every other faction. Anything else I'm missing? That's good.
One serious question, Ron. Yeah, with the success of Terrain Cake, what's coming next, bud?
Terrain Crate or just generally?
Terrain Crate.
Well, obviously we just completed Terrain Crate 2, and that unlocked some more of the last finishing pieces we feel of the kind of dungeon bit, which was the Gothic Manor. We both covered the Cthulhu space, the Art Deco stuff, but it would also work as a, evil overlord's lair, his boudoir and other such areas. And then we did the village, kind of, the village one covered the period mid-century, mid-19th century, so you can both use it for historical games like Bolt Action, but also it's twee, modern day zombie stuff. It works just as well in a modern American setting, for example. There's all that retro stuff. And then there's a blown-up version of that, which was absolutely for Bolt Action, where the scatter terrain was designed to with the Bolt Action guys, so it acts as cover for them, stuff like that, so that's flavour. And this stuff works particularly well with the MDF buildings. The MDF is fantastic in terms of getting square shapes on your gaming table, pieces you play around, but it's very fiddly to then decorate those. And so, obviously, we love that terrain angles, and obviously we've been thrown that question from terrain tutors. I'm sure you all know Mel, one of all backed his Kickstarter. So yeah, and then there was one other box, which was the Modern American box, which is the post-apocalyptic. The world's just blown up, probably zombies, but some threat is currently there, and off you go and playing. So we're very much trying to close out those last pieces and say to everybody else, terrain is hard, you can all bugger off. We're doing it. We've got hard plastic sci-fi scenery. We've got red brick scenery, which I don't think works quite as well, but it does do a certain job very well. And then we've got all the genres from D&D, system agnostic, all the way through to modern apocalyptic post-war periods with everything in between. So Rob's got some ideas about what's coming next, perhaps.
Yeah, well, I really want to do kind of animals. Bizarrely.
Yeah.
Only
What
because,
That's on video. That's how you're going to paint it.
And mainly the reason I want to have animals in a segue is only so I can call it the Kickstarter campaign, All Creatures Great and Small. So, but I think that's actually a really useful kind of element to have. You can have also, farm animals, jungle animals, all sorts. So,
dead figures. I want to do dead figures.
oh, yeah. So dead cows, dead
chickens.
Yeah.
So yeah, lots going on. What are you up to, Mel? I need to tell everyone here what's currently happening.
Well, Kickstarter, isn't it, for me? You know that Jamie very well. Halfway through funded. 130,000, I think, US dollars. I know.
Now, what's your book about?
Say again?
What's your book about?
Terrain, mate, terrain. Yeah. Really, yeah.
Some of them might not know you. Some of them might not be one of your 100,000 subscribers.
Well, yeah, basically I do terrain, and the book's about terrain. It's about everything I've learned over the last 38 years of making terrain, because I started when I was 5. I only started wargaming when I was 15, when I figured there was a game to play with it. When I moved back to England, found White Dwarf, crack off. What's going great, the Depth Argon's going great, the Ronnie's been great, and to be truthful, my brain's fried, so where's alcohol?
Yeah. 3 yesterday, enjoying all of the American hospitality. Good. Is there any more on sci-fi? Last one. We're going to do last one on
Just, can you give us like a teaser taste of how some of the mercs might work, or how a particular living legend might work?
Yes, well, I mean, you can see Andy and Shane afterwards, but the idea is that the living legends kind of, we had things like the Hellfather, for example, who was quite obviously a Forge Father. So a bit like Kings of War, we wanted to actually take them out of the mercs and into an actual proper faction list. Because the problem is, I think sometimes people wouldn't go to the back of the book, they were just going to forget they existed. So the idea is they become part of the faction now, and you can recruit them as a kind of one-off specialist.
I'm more wondering what they would do.
Well, I have to speak to Andy and Shane.
They've all got cool rules, and they'll tell you.